On to apparatus updates, tool updates, what's changed since we've last been here. So I guess the biggest thing since we last been here is the amount of equipment that we've purchased. So we'll go through each compartment one by one. We'll show you where things are, where things have moved, and what's new. So first compartment, driver's side. First thing you notice, we have a toolkit. So in the toolkit, you will find screwdrivers, and pliers, and a wide variety of tools on the bottom. So these not only help at the incident, but they help with the apparatus if the apparatus develops any troubles that we need to address. So this large toolkit is found on pumper 8. You can bring it in a building with you, especially for chimney fires, etc. You can use these to take apart the flue, take apart the pipes. On the bottom, we have our RIT tagline. It's now found down here. We got combs, we have appliances, we have hose wrenches, the 4-inch to 2.5 gated wide. We have our adapters and some hose wrenches. Over here, the latest addition is we got a new set of bolt cutters. So these are larger bolt cutters than the previous ones. They're found right here. Up here is still the same, still nozzles, still double male, double females. We do have a 2.5 gallon water extinguisher. Currently it's filled with just water. We will be upgrading it to having a 1 cup of Class A foam with it. We will be purchasing a second Class A extinguisher that we'll do a Class B CAFS mod on. So we'll have a Class B compressed air foam extinguisher that we'll be able to paint vehicles, deal with car fires with, etc. Also found in the rear compartment is the decon kit that we went through earlier. We still have sand, we still have water in the back. Hey guys, so this is the compartment underneath the rear jump seats in pumper 8. So in here we have a couple updates. We have our N95 masks, we have our BVM, we have our gloves, we have some eye wash, some bug repellent, first aid kit, tick, some eye protection, and some gloves. We also have a snow brush in the back. So those are a couple new updates to that compartment. At the rear of the vehicle, the only thing that's changed is we've added a piercing nozzle to the back of the vehicle. So for those that don't know what this is, so if you need to, let's say, extinguish a void space fire, so you could punch this through a floor, through a ceiling, through a knee wall. If you had a 4.5 house, so a story and a half house, you can punch that through a knee wall and introduce agent into the void space. We can also use this as a generator at the hospital, nursing home. We can punch that through the exterior skin of the vehicle, or of the building, sorry, and we can introduce agent as well. So that's found up in the top compartment, back of pumper 8. So on this side of the vehicle, guys, everything's identical to how it was before we left. Just as a note too, guys, just remember we do have spare SCBA bottles on pumper 8. So we have 4 on this side, and I believe we have 5 on the other. Okay guys, so as far as the cab of pumper 8 is concerned, we have our IC notebook. We have a new can of hand sanitizer. We have our checklists. We have our pump operator headset. And that's about it for the cab of the truck. So on pumper 5, not much has changed, guys. So in the cab, we have goggles and gloves for PPE. We also have a bottle of hand sanitizer. Okay, so there's a couple changes just on the side of pumper 5. So in this lower compartment, we have some traffic vests now. We also have a toolkit. So this is a very basic toolkit. Just houses, just a little socket set. The larger toolkit is found on pumper 8. So with both apparatus being on a scene, we have more than enough tools available to us. Okay, moving on from there, we go to the back where everything's identical. Nothing has changed back here whatsoever. So at the rear of the vehicle, guys, all identical. Hose beds are all the same. Rear compartment passenger side still the same, still has hold and absorbent. And here we have our cribbing. So obviously we're still lacking in cribbing, but we'll be making amendments to that, hopefully after this crisis is over. Okay guys, so that's it for Pumper 5. So like I said, not many changes at all. So it's pretty well identical to how it was when you last seen her. Okay guys, so we'll go through Rescue 7, arguably the most updated vehicle that we have in the fleet currently. So compartment 1, relatively the same. Compartment 2, still the same. Compartment 3, the only thing you guys may not have noticed is we just have a dry chem bag for chimney fires. So just drop that down the top of the chimney and it'll melt on the way down, putting out any spot fires in the creosote. Up here, in the rear compartment, we have the old bolt cutters from Pumper 8, just as a spare. In here, everything else is 100% identical. We'll go over to the passenger side of the vehicle. And in the vehicle, so we have cones up there, our Auto X supplies. There have been some updates to our go bag. So in the go bag, we have a flashlight. We have a large screwdriver now, so we can do some prying of the trim a little easier. And we have an additional seatbelt cutter. I believe I also have some more small items on the way for this kit. Just don't quote me on that. So moving on, we have our cribbing compartment, 100% the same. This compartment, although unorganized, is identical to how it was. And then as well as our generator compartment. So before we go into the rear of the truck, we'll go into the cab. So in the cab, we will be adding some hand sanitizer, some gloves, and a couple N95s to the center compartment. They're just not here right now. We do have a new snow brush. Obviously it's not going to matter right now, but the biggest item is the tack stick. So this is the tack stick, guys. So this is for down power lines. So basically you would turn it on and let it go through its self-check, and when it stops beeping, then you can use it. Only use it in high sensitivity. The other ones aren't really what we're going to be using it for. So as you can tell, it senses the power lines overhead. So that's another key equipment upgrade that we have. Okay guys, so we'll talk about the rear of Rescue 7 now. So we'll start first with this compartment here. Just organizing of the chargers. Pretty well everything else is the same. We have our PPE for ice water rescue. So the big changes are up here. This is all traffic control stuff now. And down here, this is all technical rescue. So we have our PFDs, we have our PPE for ice water, we have our ring, we have our rope, bag ropes, our throw ropes, our bridles, our life ring, our harness. That's all there. Up here we have new lights. So we have 4 lights currently on this vehicle, subject to change. And we have our traffic sticks. Again, all these lights come with the big batteries. We have 2 more batteries on charge, so we should be covered there. All our traffic vests are here. We have our IC vest and our traffic vests. And then a couple of big changes up in the bag. Okay, so this is our tool bag. So we have our sole remaining Ryobi tool. We have a little drill. We have a new Sawzall preloaded with a Milwaukee carbide. Battery, just grab one from the back. We also have an identical socket kit to Pumper 5. So same kit as Pumper 5. We have some drill bits now for the drill. So we have some drill bits. Make sure that all the drill bits go back, please. We have a wide variety of blades for the Sawzall. So we have some nice carbide blades. Bear with me here. So we have a bunch of blades. So we have some steel blades, some wood blades, different lengths, different sizes of teeth for Auto X, demolition, like overhaul, etc., etc. The last thing that we have in the bag is we have the toolkit with some pliers, and we have some screwdrivers and some nut drivers, Allen keys, crescent wrenches, etc. in the bottom. So we have a little bit of tools in this truck as well. And again, the big toolkit on Pumper 8. So again guys, one thing we really want to emphasize is any equipment found on the truck cannot leave the haul. That's one thing the chief wanted to really emphasize out there. So any of the tools, they need to stay on the trucks. Please and thank you. So on this side here guys, is another big change. So at the top, everything's pretty well identical. So that's all our blankets, backboards, KED, collars, backboard straps, etc. But down here, it's a little different, a little more organized. So we'll go through one by one with everything is. So we'll start at the back here. So we have paper towel, and we have distilled water, we have sanitized water, and we have some, I believe, saline solution. We have some garbage bags. This is all burn material, so burn kit. So if we have any burns, all the kits for burns are in here. N95s are found in this plastic tote. Back here is all blankets. So you have your reflective blankets, you have your emergency blankets, etc. We also have our normal wool cotton blankets up here. Right here, these are all, so hot is all on this side, cold is all on this side. I don't know if you can see in there or not. Up here, so we have our gloves, we have hand sanitizer here and here. We have mild soap, we have alcohol swabs, we have our naloxone kits, and then we have some gauze up in the back, or some sterile dressing, sorry. We have eye protection, sorry. We have our bio kit, so any biohazardous materials, there's bags in there, any sharps go in there. And these are the biggest changes here, guys. So we have a new trauma kit and AED. Basically, guys, now when we're running up on a scene, so either it's an MBC or we're going to a medical assist or whatnot, even a structure fire or where we're working pretty hard, we can now take the AED and the trauma kit, single person, can go down range with it. Another thing we have too is we have a bleeds kit. So we have a bag full of gauze and dressing material. So basically you would take this downrange again if you have a heavy bleed situation. You have tape, bandages, gauze, and then we have some more, we have some triangulars up there. So again, you would take this downrange with your trauma kit and your AED if you had a heavy bleed case, or you could send a guy back to the truck to get the bleed kit. So those are our kits, our new kits that we have. So we'll go through the trauma kit right now. So just want to start off by saying, guys, that we will be trained on how to use everything in this kit eventually. So Renee Knight from Calvin Fire is going to come down. He's going to do oxygen administration. He's going to do targeted responder training. He's going to tell us how to take proper vitals, all that stuff. So if you're not currently trained to do so, just don't use those items. So treat it as a basic first aid kit for right now. So the first thing we'll go through is the top. So we have non-rebreather masks and we have a BVM. Underneath in the side compartment, we have an O2 regulator and we have an O2 tank underneath. So now we have the ability to supply oxygen not only for ourselves, but for the public when we are trained to do so. Up here in the side pocket, we have oropharyngeal tubes. So all different sizes of tubes for airways are up here. You would use those with the BVM and with the non-rebreather mask. On this side compartment, guys, we have two different naloxone kits. We have an infant and an adult adjustable collars. We have another BVM. We have a manual vac suction, and we have some N95 masks right here. So this would deal with vomiting, etc., clearing airways. On this side is where we have our basic first aid kit. So we have scissors, we have clamps, we have a window punch, we have tourniquets, we have gloves, bandages, we have a compression bandage and some alcohol wipes. We have a formable splint. We also have a rescue blanket and some disposable vomit bags. Up here we have a burn pack, some hot and cold packs. We have some cool gel, and we have some med stick pain relief. We also have tape, so that's all tape right there. We have non-sterile triangular bandages. We also have some more gloves. We have some gauze packs, so all in here would deal with bleeds. So we have a variety of gauze and bandages, some wound dressing, some compresses, etc., etc. So on the side, guys, this would be the vitals compartment. So we have a couple more items on order, just waiting on delivery. So we're gonna have a stopwatch here. We're gonna have a thermometer. We're gonna have a pen light. We have a pulse oximeter right here. Again, these are only to be used when you're trained on how to use them. We have a blood pressure cuff in here. We have a stethoscope. And again, we'll have a pen light in here. So this will be for taking vitals. Also in that corner next to the first aid kit, we're gonna have a binder basically for taking our vitals on scene after we're doing like heavy workloads of calls. We have a checklist or a form, sorry, already in the works. It's been approved by the chief. So again, guys, this is the back of the rescue now. All changes have been approved by the chief, and he likes where we're headed. We have a couple more items, I think, on their way in. That thermometer, stopwatch, pen light, a couple things for the Auto X kit, and then we have through the law forcible entry kit coming in. That'll go on pumper 8, and then we have the training signs also that are that they're working on coming in as well. So these are some of the updates, guys. Stay safe, and see you soon.